Welcome. My name is Mark Shostak, and I'm one of the owners of our Olga's Kitchen restaurants here in Michigan and Illinois. I'd like to talk to you about a couple very important things today. Number one, talk to you about how our company got started, our early beginnings, and some of the lessons that we learned. And second, I'd like to talk to you about our vision, lead the way, what we strive for, as well as our mission statement, how we do it. The history of our company, how we got started, the early beginnings, and the lessons we learned. We started in 1981 with a Burger King restaurant in Alpena, Michigan, a small town in northern Michigan. And then we grew our business in the other small towns in northern Michigan. There was three very important business lessons we learned from our experience in the small towns. First, we learned how important it was to delight our guests. If we don't delight our guests in the small communities, very quickly our restaurant can have a bad reputation. The opposite of that is that if we really took care of our guests and really delighted them, we would get a great reputation in town. The second important lesson that we learned is in the small towns in northern Michigan, we just did not do the same type of sales volume that we did in the other communities in the Detroit area and Lansing. And we learned how important it was to really control our costs. Our restaurants in our small towns did 35% less business than they did in the major markets. So from a very early beginning, we learned how important it was to really keep a close eye on our profit and loss statements. The next important business lesson that we learned was how important it was to be engaged with the community. In small towns, if you got yourself involved with the community and you help raise money for the community, you could very easily build great relationships with the community organizations. So community engagement was so important. And what we learned part of that process of getting ourselves involved in the community was it was very important to pick the right community partners to become successful. The development of our vision, lead the way, what we strive for. There was a time in our company's history where we were not proud of our restaurants. And we decided that we needed to change our culture and make our restaurants run better. We decided to develop this vision of lead the way, and we chose those words very carefully because we want to make sure that everybody could easily understand what lead the way meant. We wanted to lead the way in every facet of our business. We wanted to lead the way in customer service. We wanted to lead the way in local restaurant marketing. We want to lead the way in profit and loss statements. We want to lead the way in training and development. Our mission statement, how we do it. For us to live our vision of lead the way, it is very important that we attract great people to work in our restaurants. And then once we attracted great people, we needed to be very disciplined on training and developing them. And then create a culture within our restaurant company that they would stay with us for a long time. We felt if we had great restaurant operators, great people, we could delight our guests and we can increase profits for the benefit of all. For our mission statement to become reality, all of our Olga's Kitchen team members need to understand our mission statement, whether you're front of the house, back of the house, whether you're a server, a waiter, a waitress, a host or a hostess, or a cook, or you're one of the managers. Everybody within the Olga's Kitchen team needs to clearly understand how our mission statement works. Thank you for your time today. I'm now going to turn this over to Bill Angot, who's going to talk about our 5 very important core values.
Thanks, Mark. My name is Bill Angot, president of Team Shostak Family Restaurant. Welcome to Olga's Kitchen. I'm going to talk to you about our core values, how we act, what's important to us. Our core values are our people, delight our guests, community, act with integrity, and achieve results. Our people comes directly from our mission statement. It's about the talented team, all of you. And it's up to us to train and develop the talented team so they perform at a high level. And when they do, we recognize achievements and reward accomplishments. As a family-owned business, it's important that we maintain balance between work and home and also have a family atmosphere in each and every one of our restaurants. Delight our guests also comes directly from our mission statement. And ultimately, it's what we get paid to do. Our guests come to us because they're hungry or thirsty, and it's up to us to satisfy that need. Hot and fresh food, served friendly and fast, and a clean and safe restaurant is what all our guests expect, and we need to meet that expectation. And within that eating occasion, we got to do more. We have to look for opportunities to exceed expectations, truly delight the guests so they come back and visit us more often. Community is about us being a good corporate citizen and giving back. We do that by our involvement with local and national charities, but more important, it's about our team being involved in their local restaurant communities. Act with integrity, it's about trust, honesty, and respect with each other and with our guests. It's also about being candid. Just like we let you know when your performance exceeds expectations, we'll let you know when it falls short. For us to lead the way, every team member's performance is important. And lastly, achieve results. That came from our study of great performing organizations. We found that they had three things in common. First, they were disciplined. They did what they were trained to do day in and day out. Second, they executed at a high level. To execute is to get things done, much more than simply trying. And lastly, they held themselves accountable for their performance. When they fell short, they didn't give up, they got up and started to go back to being disciplined and executing until they achieved the results they were looking for. These are our 5 core values. They are how we act and what's important to all of us. I'm now going to turn it over to Mike Kozlowski, who's going to talk about your role and what you can do to help lead the way at Olga's Kitchen.
It's my pleasure to welcome you to Team Showstack Family Restaurants. My name is Michael Kozlowski, and I'm the Vice President of Operations for the Olga's Kitchen brand. Congratulations on your decision to join Team Showstack Family Restaurants. Mark and Bill discussed our vision, mission, and core values, both the history and how they're important to us for the future success of our company. I would like to discuss what I believe is the most important core value, and that is delight the guest. In order to delight the guest, we must have a guest-centric culture in our restaurants. To do this, we must be consistent, we must be disciplined, and we must execute at a high level every single day for every single guest. In order to accomplish delighting the guest, we must create a guest-centric culture. So much of what we do in this industry today is dependent on how the guest feels. We must be disciplined, we must be consistent, we must deliver every day, every guest. This will require you to know our systems, our standards, our recipes, and our menu. Understanding what you can do in your role to delight the guest is critical to the team's success. Let's start with the host. The host position is the first and last impression that the guest has in the restaurant. As the host, it is your responsibility to make the guest feel comfortable, to seat them at the table, and to hand off the experience to the server. Servers, you will greet the guest promptly. You will introduce yourself. You will put the guests at ease. You will want to read the table. You'll want to guide the guests through the experience. You want to be attentive. You want to suggest featured menu items and be available when the guests need you. Olga's Good to Go specialist, you will also want to greet the guest promptly. You'll want to verify the order that was taken. As you're putting the order together, you want to make sure that it is 100% correct. Once the guest leaves the restaurant, if the order is not 100% correct, we will not have the opportunity to delight the guest. Kitchen specialists, even though your direct contact with the guest is limited, you provide a critical role in supporting other team members. Whether it is producing perfect Olga bread, making a salad, or keeping the dish area clean. You are providing fundamental support and touching every guest that walks through the doors. Cooks, your primary responsibility is to prepare menu items according to our recipes and specifications in a clean and safe kitchen. You will lead meal production that will result in items being prepared in less than 8 minutes. You will delight the guests by providing fresh, hot, fast, high-quality food for our guests to enjoy. Managers, let's keep it simple. Let's stay focused on the basics of running the business and flawlessly execute 14 shifts a week. Be proactive. Get your team in the right positions. Make sure your team has all the necessary tools to delight the guest. Be visible to the guest. Be available for your employees. You are the standards bearer. You are the brand ambassador for your team. Only as a team will the vision, mission, and core values be fulfilled. Our company is a promise. Olga's is a promise. Reliability builds trust. Trust builds loyalty. Loyalty builds long-term success. Our job in operations is to deliver the promise to our guests. I want to welcome you to the team. I want to encourage you to delight the guest, and I look forward to meeting you in the field.